lot of the dudes now are frustrated by the stupid game relationships have become into. And it's for a very good reason. Relationships aren't supposed to be this math problem a dude needs to sit down and solve to finally get the girl. But women have sort of made it into one because they need to satisfy their sociopathic egoistical behavior. And men can see this problem, so they have decided to go their own way now. The mentality of the modern man has shifted into chasing his dreams and aspiration at a younger age rather than chasing a girl, because of how much of a time investment it has become getting a girl now. A lot of motivational posts, podcasts, and gurus encourage young men to completely ignore sex and women in their 20s and to secure their future. But I'm also in my 20s, and when I look at stuff like this, man, I'm hit with this insane FOMO that I may be missing out on the best years of my life trying to chase this hustle culture mentality. Now, you can easily grind your 20s, make that business that you always dreamed about, or get that label deal, and then pay a hooker for an hour and get your fix. But there's something missing. The post-nut clarity that hits you sends you into worse mood you were already in before you even decided to go get a hooker. Something doesn't feel right when you have emotionless sex. A lot of men, when asked what turns them on the most, say that they want the girl to be completely into them, and that's how they feel completely satisfied. And what they really mean by this is that they want to be in love to have sex mean something to them. Because without that passion of love, mindless sex is just literally masturbating. So the real question we should be asking here is it worth sacrificing love and the memories you form during being deeply in love worth the hustle? Now, you're wondering, well, you can still fall in love when you're 34. What's the big deal, to be quite honest? Well, here's where looks come into play. You peak and look the best in your early to late 20s. Yes, men have the advantage of looking good even in their 30s, but a 30-year-old man doesn't look as good as he did when he was 20. So there is still a big difference, and this difference is what you will miss out on if you decide to choose hustle over young love. Because at the end of the day, love is just attention. And when you're in love, all your attention is on your partner, sexually, emotionally, and so forth. Human attention is a very powerful thing, as I discussed in my video about making music. We crave human attention, whether it's from friends, family, or the opposite sex. And the attention you get when you look the best at your peak is nothing like you will ever receive when you're in your 30s or 40s. Your girl will get that extra bit wet and want you even more if you're looking the best as you ever had. And this passion will be the basis to the best memories you ever form. Trust me when I tell you this, your opportunities for sex will decrease as you get older. As a 30-year-old man, yes, you can find an 18-year-old who's super into you, but again, you already have to be gifted by being the top 1% of men, either in looks or money or both, or get very lucky in terms of finding her. Most women you date when you're older will be around the same age, and we all know how women's mentality change when they grow older. The older they get, the more experience they have with men of today, and the colder they have become, as I discussed in my last video. Their egos have been inflated way past return, because when they were young, they knew they were good looking, but when they got older, they come to the full realization of the power of pussy and what it does to a man. So that young love truly remains innocent and untouched because it's timeless and immature. The transaction is purely emotional. That's why having a lower body count for a woman and the first relationship for a woman is always going to be the best she's ever had. But that is a topic for a different video. In short, the more body she has, the less she can connect with you on a deeper level, and that means you lose out on love and just get the sex. So now do you think the hustle is worth it? If yes, then well, you're as cold as ice, my friend, and that's okay. Godspeed. I hope you make millions. If you're still skeptical and on the fence like me, that's good. And if you think that the hustle is not worth it now, well, I'm gonna sort of give you the cons of the young love scenario. So I'm coming fresh out of the script from my last video, so the influence is pretty strong, but just to reiterate my point, the people we live with in today's world have changed quite radically compared to the movies you see. Yes, young love is probably the best feeling ever and the attention you get is unmatched. But just like our attention spans today, it seems to be very short-lived. And I explain how the internet has sort of ruined our love life because of this. The better way to say young love would be saying that the honeymoon phase is the best thing that you will ever experience in your life. The first couple months of a relationship tend to be the best since you obviously don't know the person and the sex is completely new, and etc. And then after that, it just gets stale like usual. So now you have to wonder whether sacrificing something solid like a business or a career is worth wasting time on something that will only last a few months. And falling in love comes with additional baggage of negative emotions once the deed is over. If you got cheated on or the breakup was chaotic, then it's even worse. So is that kind of stress worth it? Yeah, we're really in a pickle now. And for the people who have been thinking about doing both, hustle and get into love at the same time, clearly have never been in love. When you fall in love, you're almost always completely invested into it. And I mean true love. And this brings me to my second con, finding true love in 2021. You see, for me, the negative baggage and the time waste would be worth it if I was to find someone who truly loves me for me and not for my money or looks. And that is next to impossible today unless you really invest time into finding someone with a personality like that. So we hit a catch-22 here. The general 18 to 26-year-old women are conditioned and groomed to chase men who are loaded or look like fashion models. And hypergamy, as I explained last time, runs rampant in today's world. So true love goes straight out of the window because of what hyperconnectivity and internet has done to our society in general. And lastly, where we began. We can't forget the emotional games and mazes you have to get through to love these emotionally damaged sociopathic women. You know your boy has your back, even if these hoes don't. If I put you in an existential crisis, I will also save you, my friend, as always. So, what do we do now? Well, we have two options. Number one, the least desirable, you change your location. You see, if you're watching this video, then you probably live in a westernized country. And these internet-driven problems of hypergamy and attention span usually run rampant in the modern world. So you literally have to go back in time and find someone to love. The women you find in a less developed country will usually be a virgin and will not make you calculate the distance to our nearest black hole to get her to fall in love with you. So that's a pure kind of love you can still achieve. But I know why you don't like this option. They just don't look good, man. I get you. I'm just gonna say you have taste and not that you're turning into a sociopath who wants superficial stuff. I'm nice like that. But there's also another problem with this solution. You basically have to stay in that location and live with her your entire life, because bringing her back and exposing her to the Western culture will put her in a state of shock. She will rebel and will do even more than what these girls already do and leave you in the dust with her green card because she was repressed for so long and she gets a taste for freedom. Option 2. Put the hustle aside for the time being. We can take advantage of one of our disadvantages here. Remember when I said the young love is basically just worth the honeymoon phase? Well, that's all we need. You see, falling in love once is all you need, because after that is basically the same shit, to be quite frank. There's nothing besides a new personality that's added. Yeah, I mean, you can form new memories, but the first time you fall in love will be the best and the most vivid memory, like it is with anything. So that's your solution, my friend. Take the time now. Don't just completely abandon everything, but put those things on the back burner and take time out of your day to find someone. Not just any girl that belongs to the street, because she will just ruin the moment, trust me. You need to really invest your time that you otherwise would be using to build your future into finding and knowing someone that isn't looking to hop on to another man or is with you because you have an AMG. Because you truly don't want to miss out on that young love, because it's literally a once in a lifetime thing that just doesn't compare to something you will get later on in life. And what if, who knows, maybe, just maybe, she turns out to be perfect. Perfect enough that you can travel with her on this journey of life till the very end.